Hi, Nicholas. This is Jim Gillis with Win My Vote, and I share many of the same values and principles that the Libertarian Party hold, one of which is government inefficiencies, or the efficiency of the free market. So about a year and a half ago, I met with a guy that works at the elections department and couldn't get over how unorganized they were down there, and made me realize that although the government needs to count the votes, they certainly don't need to be involved in any of the other processes. And so I looked around. I was sort of surprised that there wasn't a site like Win My Vote. There wasn't a site that was, neutral, that would just gather all of the choices that the voter or the consumer had, and then let the consumer, choose. So if you look at other industries like the travel industry, for example, you have companies like Expedia and Travelocity and Kayak, which gather all the choices that the consumer has, presents them in a real clear, easy fashion, and then the consumer can just pick their favorite. So that's what Win My Vote does, and we do those on ballots, right? Because as a voter, that's what I'm most interested in is when the election is, what races I need to vote on, and who are my choices in each one of those races. So this is what it looks like. As a voter, I sign up for free with just an email address or a social media account. I enter only my zip code in, and with that zip code places me in specific voting districts. If there's more than one district in my zip code, we have resources on the sign up page where you can look at a map and you can easily identify which district that you're in, and then you can select that so that you can get your most accurate ballot. And the ballot will go from national level down to the state level races, to congressional districts, and then state Senate, state assembly districts, down into the county level races, and then even the city level races, board of supervisors, city council, all the way down to school board races. And again, the way that it scales is that we build the ballot, and then the candidates build their own profile and enter the race. So that's what I'd like to talk with you about is, two things. One, the goal of Win My Vote is to be, nationwide and have as many people as possible, choosing their candidates, on Win My Vote. There's no reason, that they should be choosing them, their candidates driving down the street looking at billboards or radios or television ads. It really should be sort of a process of looking at each candidate side by side, comparing each candidate, and then learning, which one you have the most in common with, or that you share the most values and principles with, and then favoriting that candidate, and then moving on to the next race. So you can see here for president, we include some of these candidates here that most people have probably never heard of before, but then it's real easy on Win My Vote to be able to just go down the line and click on Evan McMullin, for example, and learn a lot about him. So obviously Gary Johnson, this year got a lot of attention, but still nothing compared to the other candidates. And here, he would be a candidate that I would,
I'm Gary Johnson, candidate for President of the United States, and I approve this message. I'm Governor Gary Johnson.
I'm Governor Bill Weld.
I'm running for president.
I'm running with him.
As the governor of New Mexico, I vetoed wasteful spending 750 times, cut taxes 14 times, and left the state with new highways, bridges, schools, hospitals, and $1 billion surplus without raising taxes a penny.
As governor of Massachusetts, I cut taxes 21 times and took unemployment from the highest rate among the 11 industrialized states to the lowest.
So now, if you hear that, driving in your car 3 weeks before the election, it's great, you like it, but 5 minutes later, you don't think about it at all. If you see a TV commercial, again, it's just another TV ad, political ad, and it gets, forgotten pretty quickly. If you watch it here on Win My Vote, what you do is you star your candidate here. And again, apologies here. This is our demo ballot closed with the official ballot, so you can't, change your vote now. But in the open ones, you obviously can. So, for example, if I were to, watch Gavin Newsom.
So a lot of the government
for over the last couple of years, we've accepted tens of thousands of refugees over the course of the last few decades that have assimilated extraordinarily well.
And if I say, you know what, this is great, he's my guy, then I favored him. And his star turns green, and when I go back to my ballot, he's now in first place, and he looks like he's leading on favorites. And yes, believe it or not, we already have plenty of people favoriting the 2018 race here. But that's the idea of it, right? Is that if I hear a commercial, driving in my car or watching television or go by a billboard, that's all subliminal stuff. And I think you have to see it or hear it 7 or 8 times, before it starts sinking in, which is just a crazy way of campaigning. It also puts the unfunded or the underfunded candidates at such a massive disadvantage that they'll never make any traction, unless we change the game, right? Unless we change the way that voters, learn about candidates, but more importantly, decide on who they're going to vote for. And that's Win My Vote's, ultimate goal. So would love to work with you, on getting the message out to all of your candidates, in all of the ballots, all the way down ballot in the smallest of elections or the biggest elections, all the way through, and get everybody to sign up for Win My Vote and start learning a little bit about the elections and who their choices are, so that come election time, they're not making their decision in their car listening to the radio. Instead, they're making it right here, and that way, the lesser known candidates will have a fair shot. So again, would love to talk with you about it. There's lots of other features that I could show you, but this video is already running long. And there's also lots of other planned features that would love to talk with you about, to see which ones that you would like and which ones you think would benefit you guys. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.